What's going on, y'all? Sorry about that. I forgot to turn on the do not disturb. And I don't turn on the do not disturb. If I get a phone call, it messes up the audio. But when I get those phone calls when I go live, most of the time I don't get them unless I'm talking about my crazy ex. And the number is always from the same town that me and her lived in. We were together in West Virginia. So I highly doubt that I'm getting random phone calls from numbers from the place that she currently lives at whenever I'm talking about her, right? But again, you can't help these psychopathic type of people. A lot of folks ask, why did you run and never allowed her to communicate? Well, unlike regular people, I'm trained by the military. And I know a psychopath when I'm speaking. So once I had realized, like I was saying previously in another video, once I had realized that she had set up this whole coup to have this mid-marriage hot girl summer with her friends and God knows who else, like the young lady was asking me in the comment section, well, how did I know that the marriage was unrepairable? Well, as a man, once you realize that your old lady has been, given other guys, that Glock 3000 or 9000 or whatever they're calling it, there's no need for her to be around. Now, one way to clearly tell if a woman's giving it up to someone else is her talking crazy to you where she never had talked crazy to you before. Like I said, she was talking about, staying up there 3 months, 6 months. She called back telling my dad she wasn't coming back. This is because the guy was handling his business, probably a couple of few, right? And she had thought, and this is why I tell you, gentlemen, you have to move in silence, man. You got to play the fool to play the fool, man. Just let them do what they do. This woman had plotted this with her family. None of it made any sense. I knew what was going to happen. And, when she implemented it and made her move, I told her, don't come back. Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Yeah, I got a phone call in the middle of the live stream. And coincidentally, it was, from the same area code that my ex lives in, that we used to live in together. So, I highly doubt it's a coincidence. She stalks apparently, and don't want her name to be brought up. Listen, we're divorced. I ain't got no reason to. Hey, what's going on from the Philippines? Death Stalker, what's going on? Death Stalker 1530, From Belgium, what's going on? Belgium in the house, man. Listen, y'all, I'm a passport bro. I just got some things. I got some land that I gotta take care of. Put a little house on it, whatever. You know what I mean? Put a cow on it or something. For the tax write-off. And then I got some property. I gotta find someone that'll watch after it for me. But after that, it's Rivaderci. I will have the passport and I will be gone. Yeah, I had to come back on here because it wasn't like I got a phone call from some random 1-800 number. It was a West Virginia number, 304, which seriously, like the real 304, the West Virginia 304, right? I got a phone call from that, and that was the same area code, which, was where me and my ex wife used to live. So I highly doubt it's a coincidence that I'm getting random phone calls in the middle of my live stream from the same area code where she currently lives. So yeah, if I get a phone call in the middle of my live stream, since I'm using a mic, it will mess my sound up. And the only people that would know that are frequently watching people and people that are doing it. So I normally put my do not disturb on, but it's early and I forgot to do it. She caught me slipping. What can I say? I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate it. Yeah, so the only way that someone can mess up my live stream is if I get a phone call and no one knows my number, except my ex, and again, she leaves her trademark by making sure I know that it's a 304 number. And I'm like, okay, again, I don't really care. Again, this person devised the whole plot and plan using her family to cheat during a marriage. And I believe she might have been planning on running off with some new guy, but she's really not that bright. And I used to, like, you know, it's a certain level of naivete that, a guy can think is cute. But when a chick is not underneath your umbrella anymore and she's naive to other dudes, and I'm like, I'm gonna let you sink. You know what I'm saying? Well, by celebrate meaning not be online and chill, yes, I did celebrate. But it is what it is, you guys. It's gotten really humid out here. So I just wanted to get back on here, finish up my walk, and just let you guys know the reason why I had to cut her off. Well, if she calls during a live stream, if anyone calls, it'll mess up my sound. But I don't get random calls like that. Only when I'm live streaming or something and I'm speaking about that weirdo. You know what I'm saying? And again, whatever she's doing, wish her the best. Just want her to leave me alone. I mean, that's how I ran, dude. Like when she did, she said she's gonna be gone for 7 days. That's the only reason why I even let it happen. I was like, 7 days, you know, I wasn't thinking that she was a full out cheater. So it's like 7 days, don't make any sense. But once she was like, oh, my flight and my mom needs more help, after surgery. Now, mind you, she got a sister and a brother and all this stuff. And she's like, no, you're up there getting dick down. You're up there getting dick down. These dudes are, and mind you, got to remember, I was with this woman for like 9 years by this time. So I had, hooked her up. I made her look good. I make anybody around me look good. So I, had her, looking good, and, she got whatever she wanted and whatever hairstyle she wanted. So when she went up there, she was, in my energy. She was like representing herself to these guys using the energy that she had gotten from me. So once I cut the energy off, man, that's ain't gonna go far. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna go far. And all I know is this. I'm going on 2 years celibate, about to move to Thailand or the Philippines or something like that. And she's just had a kid or about to have a kid or whatever. So she's out there doing what she was doing, claiming that she never did it. Well, I highly doubt that a woman can get pregnant within a year of separating from her husband without her being a cheating, you know what? You know what I'm saying? It's nearly impossible unless she was that loose after being with someone almost 10 years to get back out there in the dating market. And not only that, get pregnant by them. I'm a faithful dude, so it's just kind of weird for me. It's going to take me a little bit getting used to dating. And, things are different. I was dating in the 2010s, man. So it was a beautiful time to be alive. Women weren't trying to be players. And even though they were doing this independent woman thing, they weren't spreading themselves out so thin and doing whatever they want to do for some money back then. So, you could actually date. You could, possibly even lay with a woman and not have to worry about diseases like you have to do right now. There weren't constant reminders of, outbreaks in different states of STDs and stuff like that, So, like, jumping back out there, I highly doubt it. She more than likely had somebody lined up, went up there, did what she did. Obviously, doing too much. She don't know who the father of the kid is. So that implies a whole lot of stuff right there when you don't know who the father is, because there's no way she would know if she was threatening to put me on child support for the kid. Yeah, see, I didn't say a whole lot of stuff that was going on in the background. I just kind of kept it to myself until it was done. But this chick's making threats. How you gonna make threats to put me on child support for your unborn child and I haven't seen you in 2 years? But that's just how that Jezebel spirit works, because she's obviously stalking my social media. I don't talk to her. I don't even know what her social media is. I blocked her on Facebook and all her family members. So she's watching me and getting upset because when a narc leaves you, with the reverse discard, because you know that's what it was. She went up there. She tried to do a reverse discard. I don't believe she was planning on coming back. There's no need for a DNA test whenever I haven't seen her in 2 years and she just had the kid, or, about to have the kid. So, there's no need. My lawyer was a good lawyer. He got it put into the divorce decree that, whatever child she has had since the separation, I forgot how he worded it. It was real slick too, but it's not my kid and I'm not responsible. But, they also have that fraternity law stuff that's getting passed. So, that stuff wouldn't, like, that's how God protects me. It wouldn't have flown anyway. God protected me with that fraternity law thing. She couldn't even do it if she wanted to, because I have text messages with her admitting that she was going to commit fraternity fraud. So, you know what I'm saying? Like it wouldn't have went far, you know. So it's crazy out here. Before the conversation between you and her after that, saying something about threatening you. Yeah, man. Well, I'm divorced from her completely now. And my lawyer did it up right to where he put something in there about the land and whatever she needs to do to, to assist me with getting her name taken off. She will have to do it. And that kid that she had is not mine. And I have nothing to do with the kid or whatever. And she can't get funds from me. You got to remember that fraternity fraud law just got passed. So she wouldn't have been able to do it anyway. Like God, tripled down on protecting me. But this is just how it is, man. Right now out here, people are just wild and crazy, and God is separating those that are, the chosen ones that are trying to do better from those that are just, scumbags. You know what I mean? And whatever situation she's in, I don't wish nothing harm on anyone. I mean, whatever, do what you do, but I'm not going to play the fool for anyone. These women, you guys, when you have these women that are saying they're going on like girl trips, or they're going to cheat, man. They're going to cheat. And I don't play the girl trip thing. That's why she said that her mom needed heart surgery. She knows I'm not going to play no girl trip stuff. I know what women do when they get around each other, man. I don't even care if you think you have a good girl. They take stuff to the grave, and other women want to be able to have leverage over a woman. So, and they go out there and do stuff with each other. So I was just like, man, once she left um my my reality, my my vicinity, my little spot in this world, I was like, well, she's pretty much dead to me. I don't really care anymore. I'm not going to deal with any woman that cheats. I'm not going to deal with any woman whose family puts in on like what she did to help her cheat or whatever. And we don't even know if it was cheating. The dude could have talked such a good game that she might have not been planning on coming back, like she told my dad. You know, I doubt that she would tell my dad that if she wasn't, the guy wasn't talking good game. And I guess she thought that her bedroom game was that good. It's really not. You know what I mean? I was with her because she was around. The main reason was because when I first found out about my son, I met her around that same time, and she was showing me how to change diapers and showing me a lot about how to be a parent. So I always remembered that stuff when she got fired from 15 jobs. I remembered that stuff when I put her through school so she could go ahead and get that diploma so she can go ahead and start college. Like I did a whole lot of stuff for this woman that nobody else did. So, but you got to remember, when you were a narc, they will resent you if you remember who they were prior to them changing. Right. But I didn't know. I didn't go online and look. If I looked up narcissism, I would have been left her. I would be like, this woman does this crazy stuff. She gaslights me all the time. Make me feel like I don't know what I'm talking about, and my memory is clearer than anybody else's I know. I'm just like, man, look, when it's time to go. And as a man, once you leave, you don't do nothing but ascend. You don't do nothing but ascend. You know what I mean? What are some things that you're ready for? I don't know what you're talking about, Rose. Go with the conversation. This is not an interrogation. You know what I mean? You got to understand, before I go, I have a lot of weirdo content creators that like to try to poke and pry to get information or see how I react to stuff so they can run back to their channels and make their chosen one AI videos, or their tarot videos or their dating coach advice videos. I don't really like giving them too much information. You know, so it's no disrespect to you. I just I like to limit the access of the weirdos that try to poke and pry and figure me out without asking directly. That's all. You did good. Oh, I tried to do the best I could, man. Getting up out of there, I just ran. That's why I tell men just leave, because this psycho came back. You know, after I told her don't come back, she popped up and she had the phone in her hand, like flat like this. You know what I'm saying? And like she had the odd. So if you knew you were putting yourself in a dangerous situation, why would you come back? Why would you see how crazy this person? So that's why I'm gonna say I gotta run. And God told me that she was coming back, so not come back. And she kind of like went radio silent for a few days. I'm like, she's gonna pop up. And I just packed everything in the back of my truck. A couple of days later, she popped up and I was out. You know, and I never let her speak to me or get around me, because she's gonna lie her ass off. She's gonna lie. She's not even gonna admit. See, a good liar would probably admit to some of the stuff. She didn't even admit that she cheated. She just made it seem like she was just gonna leave and make all them crazy threats, and and she said some really weird stuff too. She said, "My family told me you were gonna leave me." So you mean to tell me you had someone warn you and tell you that whatever game you're playing is gonna backfire in your face, and you said, "No, I'm gonna do it anyway. Fuck that nigga." It's crazy, man. It's crazy. So you make sure you pay attention to that stuff. And yeah, you know what I'm saying? She was crazy with it. That guy that was smashing them cheeks must have been talking some good game. The only time she started talking right was like, it was going on about 3.5 weeks. And that's when I was like, hey, don't even bother coming back. You got to remember, we've been together for years. This is the first time she pulled this whole, going somewhere without me situation. And she thought that he might let it go. And no woman leaves her man, talks junk on the phone, doesn't let him know every night, hey, I'm going to bed or whatever. Woo, woo, woo. Make sure that she didn't call me and tell me everything was good. And then also watch me through the Ring camera on the house like a fucking caged animal. No, this is a cheater that is trying to and wants to believe that I'm going to cheat. So she has an excuse to be like, oh, I see, I knew he would cheat. And I didn't. So, yeah, I came home late one night after shopping with my son, and this fool from Maryland, I'm in South Carolina, from Maryland, locked the door behind me. And that's how I figured it out. I'm like, I don't know how many days that she had watched me through that Ring camera. I have no idea. Trying to catch me cheating, never cheated, man. I wasn't in it for that. I'm a grown man. You know what I'm saying? I get any woman I want. Why would I be married and cheat? I just get a divorce, man. I would never got married if I was gonna, it's weird stuff. But you got to remember, a lot of females look at marriage or relationship as a business opportunity, as an advancement, while you're out here looking for love, and that's how they fool you. That's how they fool you, man. Most of them are not looking for love, dude. They're looking for a place to stay. You know what I'm saying? They're looking for a stable looking situation so they can monkey branch to another guy. You know what I mean? Yeah, it is what it is, man. It's life. You know what I'm saying? It's life. And it's better to know, who you're dealing with than to, hey, what's going on, family, what's going on? It's better to know who you're dealing with and get rid of them. And then, that's when I got on the internet after I left her. I had to start over. I had nothing. I used the last of my money to pay for rent in the townhouse we were living in. She came back and squatted on the place to force me to come back to the house so she can babble her way out of it. So I had to just be homeless and then stay with my dad because I wasn't going to go back to that house. So I got online and telling my story, and people thought it was a joke, and decided to get on here and troll. It is what it is. You know what I mean? But while dealing with them trolling, this fool was trolling like she's doing now. So you can't tell from the trolls that are doing it because they think that I'm a fool for getting online telling my story, or if it's my ex and her family trolling me. Don't know, can't tell, just have to put them all in the same pot. Trolled me for almost 2 years. Whenever she reached out to say that she wanted to get a divorce, she calls the same phone number I had before we broke up and says, hey, I need to get a divorce. I've been trying to get in touch with you. Really? You just contacted me on the same phone number that I've always had. Oh, okay. Yeah, doesn't make any sense, does it? These people, these 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 narcissistic, my problem with it was that I didn't catch on to it sooner. But you got to remember, I just found out about my son, getting things together, and then I started working, and then I'm not saying that she was just cheating dirtbag the entire time, but she definitely turned into it. You know what I'm saying? And gotta just be careful with that, man. You gotta be careful with it. That's my story. That's why I'm not getting married again. It's just nothing in it for the man. There needs to be some great marriage reform for any man to take a chance on it ever again. And then once you get married to a woman, they act like they have you by the balls, man. They just they it's a different side of them that comes out. Yeah, I guess I get what you're saying. If you don't tell your story to somebody else, I don't know. But I guess you mean by her, because nobody else really knows my story but her. But yeah, man. I have to get it out and what I'm saying, just say what it is without going into too grave detail. Because I could tell y'all some stuff she did while she was gone for those 30 days. You got to remember, I was with that woman like almost 10 years. So while she was gone, she would call me up and talk about, bringing up me cheating on her in the beginning of the relationship, even though she cheated on me too. You know what I'm saying? Bringing it up. And what that was to a person that has some sense, it's an admission of guilt. So she's admitting to cheating on me while being gone through trying to project it onto me about me cheating on her, which she was cheating on me too. When we first got together years ago, like, the first year we were together or whatever. So, play any of these manipulative games from women that think that you need to be chasing them and they need to orbit you and manipulate you into wanting them or noticing them. They can approach you and speak to you, then get lost. Period, point blank. Anyway, y'all, charge my phone up, love and like, smash that like button, drop a comment whether you agree or disagree. Let's